And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire, in my self-imposed challenge, People What People, where we're playing on a planet that I think had less than 1,000,000 people at the beginning of the run on the planet. Since then, the planetary population has probably increased by quite a bit. We're currently at war with Bonner's Mark over here, and their situation has just been, for them specifically, has been pretty terrible. I think they have literally basically destroyed their public economy by overdrafting. So at some point they had a fairly decent army that was able to go toe-to-toe with us. Recently we've just been able to sort of blow through them with little to no resistance. This is, I think, the last city they have. Over the next couple turns, we'll probably go ahead and overrun that city, and then we won't be at war anymore, which will offer some minor benefits. Victory score-wise, this is the beginning of a new stream. We're up at 36.4%. We need to acquire another 13.6% to win, which can either be twice that amount of percentage of the population, twice that percentage amount of the planet. Planet is probably the easiest to take without fighting people, although that one city is supposedly worth like 2.1% of the planetary population. One thing we are running into that will potentially put a kibosh on the rapid and continuing expansion is the fact that we are running out of fuel. Doing what I can to be efficient in this conquest. It may be some potential where I just straight up attack some of these units. It does not necessarily look like we are facing particularly well entrenched units, although our reconnaissance is not very good, so we might be missing the understanding of how many there is there. Another thing we could do, and in fact I probably should do, is start to build the rail line out to this front. When we take the city over, we're probably going to want to connect to it via rail. So looking at it, we got pretty industry, so let's actually slap the rail in. Really start to throw the rail in. Like so. And then I will go ahead and add a railhead right here. We'll probably end up again delegating this to Nota Town, just to, again, continue to minimize the amount of administrative strain in the capital, because the capital is making almost all our stuff. But yeah, let's have missed a strategic card here. We should be ready to go roll the turn over, advance forward, as we usually end a stream at the end of a turn, whereas normal parts we do the part break during the turn cycle. Got a fueling station, we could definitely use that. We're not in a rush to that. Probably do some private economy, or private investment here. 7,000 there. And we'll do another one here. We'll hold another third one. I think we're good enough with what we've got. So let's go ahead and cycle the turn. We'll see how the petrol situation evolves. If this rail connection is actually functional, we'll probably start attacking, because we'll have better supplies in the local area than they do, I suspect. There's also a decent possibility that everything goes according to plan, that we may win during this stream. Depends on how quickly we can take over the planet, I think. Pulling through the territories. I think we already went past the nation we're at war with, although I might be wrong with that. A little bit on line motion there, that's fine. Apparently actually destroyed a bit of green beavers in self-defense. There we go. Picking up at the beginning of round 179, we killed 300 infantry over the intern, although it was mostly non-aligned forces. We have 5 decisions. The director of the Foreign Affairs Council has just quit due to old age. Okay. A corporate discovery. And some nice cards. Okay. You want total power over your state? No, our populace have some rights. Focus on design. Our workers are being harassed. We're gonna fail friendly investigation. If we do nothing, we're just gonna put some arrest. We'll send the troops in. Given some of the demands. We'll take the heart option here. That helps a little bit with diplomacy. Okay, let's work on the front where we're attacking. How went the assembly of Railhead? The Railhead actually finished. Yeah, we probably do want to work down the road if we can. Some water's down here. Interesting, we're seeing. Oh, it's yeah. To be fair, this is their roads, right? So it's an all line of taking some of their road network back, and that makes sense. Demolition infrastructure from there to there, from there to there. I'm not sure how much of this road we'll be able to seal. That much. At some point, we're probably gonna have to build more truck depots or whatever if they continue advancing. So we have a little bit better reconnaissance on this guy. We're up to 100 recon. The implication here is they only got 100 guys there, so let's attack to try to reduce the salient here.
Move it now!
Reconnaissance report was apparently wrong, although not that wrong. Yep, I'm gonna take a little bit of a rest to attack that location.
All clear, sir.
Yeah, we're probably at a point where we can just attack the capital and drive them off their capital. On the next turn. Do something like that. I'm not gonna bother getting the road up to that one. And then, yeah. At some point, I'm gonna have to evaluate where the action points fall off on this road. 50 something there. 98. So probably want to do like there. Do a truck station there.
Order received.
Okay. The moment, let's delegate this railhead to Noda Town. We're presumably gonna, I'm not allowed to do it, in Main Island Sea. Interesting. Oh, apparently we have a city here already. If I've got a city here already, we'll just leave it assigned to the city. That works. Give some workers to
Roger that.
operate it. It'll presumably be assigned to the city when we take the city over. Okay, so that's that front. Over here we have the guys that took over this area in the middle, marching westward. That allows the Titan to pick it up over here. Probably send guys into the mountain here to finally, once and for all, deal with the animals in that mountain. At some point I'm going to have to presumably start a fight with the nomads, I suspect. Because otherwise we're going to be basically trying to encircle a bunch of guys without being able to shoot at them. And yeah, basically starting to actually fight these guys would start to free up a bunch of troops. That's where we are on that front. Okay. I'm suspicious because those zones weren't controlled for us. Though it might just be the weak zone of control on that unit. Okay. Diplomacy-wise, or it's probably at the point where we could try to diplomacy these guys into joining. Given that, let's actually do that. You know, diplomat assigned to that zone.
Copy that.
Get a corp discovery, which we'll go ahead and take. Education methods, okay. We'll grab the ambitious rogue and the talent. We've got some competition for the upcoming Foreign Affairs Counselor position. And obviously, you probably want to get the zoo project and the commercial project assigned. The question is, where do I want it assigned? You're 99, you're 87, you're 100. You're 65, so it's probably going to be you.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
And we'll take the security outpost as well for similar reasons. Failure, but a failure gets us the point back. So we're up to 3 again on the fate points. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll make an attempt at assaulting that city next turn. If their defensive posture looks about as good as it is now, we'll probably scare them out of the city, and at which point they will have no city, and it'll just be the process of attacking the remaining stragglers to secure the eastern flank here. This, granted, for going down here, this is up and back and down, and it's maybe not optimal. Well, it might be better to run the road through, and then delete the extra road here, but for the moment this is fine. Yeah, we can come down to the bottom of the map here, clear this area up, that'll allow us to bring these guys around and tighten up over here-ish. One thing I should probably try to remember to do, I'm not necessarily doing it every turn, but I should try to do it more, is use the fact that we can acquire people from the trader, the slave trader. Okay, other than losing territory in various places, just a little bit of setback, we're making progress. Killed 100 infantry, around 180. We have 8 decisions awaiting us. Rank Doctors is one of them. We have the prized assets with our goal. That's good. Developed our anti-aircraft gun. Completed operationalizing the motorized MG. So now we don't have to just have motorized units. We can have them have machine guns as well, which is good. Summon a suitability 89 with the diplomacy 24. Yeah, I see that. That makes sense.
Copy that.
We'll keep that balanced. I think we'll do no new orders here. We'll do the motorized siege infantry, so we've actually put artillery pieces and armies. Give them some of the demands. Make an effect there. At this point, I probably do want to allow things to fall apart with the nomads. So I should start saying no to the nomads. As much as I want the commerce.
Copy that.
Let's organize a big ceremony. Ask them to join us.
Copy that.
Gunners are at feast. The aliens are impressed with our festivities. We rolled 209 versus 129 difficulty, convincing them to join us. Cool. Send in the professional troops and see if that's enough to get them to withdraw out of the city.
Move it now! All clear, sir.
Yeah.
Move it now! All clear,
We
sir.
attack, drive them away from the city if we can. And maybe get the entire pocket to surrender. Yeah.
All clear, sir.
They got a small bit of territory over here. At this point, they don't have a... They literally don't have a population center with which to recruit new personnel from, so I don't think it's necessarily going to be too much of a problem. This is... Interestingly enough, this is the people these guys defeated. This is the basically last place nation, or what's left of the last place nation. I forgot about moving these guys. Whoops. And yeah, unless we bring more troops in, we're basically at the point where we can stop expanding against them. At least until we can declare war on them. I'm not going to declare war when we have 84 opinion with them. That just feels like a way to get a bunch of unrest for no good reason. The front down here, where these guys are freeing themselves. Well, moving up the picket, basically. Yeah, we'll probably deploy... What is it? 5th. 5th will start the picket. So you're a member of the 6th. We'll pull you back. Although we're going to move someone there. Start with a loose picket. We might tighten up as things go on. Oh, actually, I should probably pick these guys, since they start sending these guys westward. Or eastward, some direction. Just don't leave them sitting where they are. The motorized are all in one place. We're not going to use them right now because we obviously don't have the fuel to support that motion. These guys we probably want to move, although I probably should replace them with like a machine gun unit before. Which we don't apparently have the train logistics to deploy yet. You can see the pain of our logistics situation here. We've got the road, but the road doesn't deliver enough supplies far enough.
Attack formation.
Okie dokie.
Attack formation.
Okie dokie.
Okay. I'm gonna try stopping, well, minimizing the amount I'm using the armored vehicles from this point on, just to save the fuel requirements. We obviously don't need it for fighting these guys. And we're getting sort of dangerously close to running out of fuel. Go look at trade. What is the price for fuel? Expensive, but I can afford to buy a turn worth of fuel production. Well, fuel consumption. So that'll buy it. Wrong way around, I was on sale. Okay, well, let's buy it back.
Roger that.
Yeah, we can afford to buy a turn worth of consumption. And this is where we just took out the zone, so that's good. So yeah, we're probably going to be overflowing with industry going forward. And you can see the collapse of their private economy there is they've literally run out of private workers. So they just can't work the private economy.
Roger that.
Standing by.
Let's call you up. Apparently the private, well, that's not surprising. The private is paying pretty high because there's a shortage of workers. Private workers. Let's do that. Probably want it a little bit higher than that, loyalty-wise, but that's a start. Probably the same here, yeah.
Standing by.
Or you could use a little bit of happiness buff, yeah.
Standing by.
Order received. Order received.
And then we'll also do a strat card here to raise opinion. There we go. Above par, apparently. You we want to call up and see the slave trader. Get
Affirmative.
some people in from the slave trader. Victory review up to 37.8. About half the population really just being held back by planet percent. So, really at this point, we are in a good state to win the game. We just need the logistics to take the planet over. Which is one reason for taking over things like the aliens, because they can go off the logistics net and form pickets out in the boons where we don't have to apply. Like this is a whole area where we just haven't extended the road to, and we've been able to do that because of the Xeno troops. Yeah, I might try driving these guys back to the rail and then pulling them home via rail. But in case the motorized guys, the tank guys. But yep, we're off to a good start. Go take over this mountain range, this side of the mountain range, and then we'll free up the troops over there. Can we continue to extend the sealed road a little bit? This bit will have to wait a bit. And we can probably do the same over here, extend this one a bit. Just a bit. There we go. Clean up the road network as we're going, obviously. So yeah, we'll run the last little bit of these guys. I think we technically have open contact with these guys, so unless the rump state of them declares on us, we are fine to leave them alone. And then I don't think I'm constructing anything. Well, apparently I'm constructing truck depots in various places. Constructing a truck depot there that obviously hasn't finished. Delay on that one. That one finally finished, okay. Although there's worker shortages already with that one. That's probably why that one also took so long. And then you have a worker shortage as well. Okay. It's a shame the reptiloids lost that fight, same there. Although in that case we didn't lose any, so that was good. Okay, we killed 600 infantry at the cost of 100. On the beginning, well, the turn cycle into round 181, we have 7 citizens awaiting us. Nope, I had a quest to get recon, and I didn't do it. Whoops. Acquired a new zone. Research complete methane synthesis. Chameleon camo, okay. Engine gun optimization. The director of the Air Force is quitting, okay. Incident with lack of action. You know, I like mind. We'll
Order acknowledged.
discipline the leader.
Roger that. Copy that.
Roger that.
Copy that. Roger that.
Girl of success there. And yes, you are probably the best to grow into the job.
Aye, aye, sir.
Okay, didn't burn through the wheel that much. Granted, we didn't move most of the recon cars. You finished. Okay, so we're going to delegate you to Noda Town. I'm going to go put the colonists in Noda Town so there's workers to work it.
Copy that.
Yeah, so we're obviously having some logistical issues from action point issues. So I do have to sort of accept that we're gonna have to slow down expanding over here at some point very soon. Okay, that should be enough to keep those guys in the circle. Okay. And that's looking okay. It's not great, but it's working. So that's the east. Again, at some point I need to get enough colonists into these cities that these cities become functional, at least from the standpoint of supplying logistics to them. They never need to become great, but I don't necessarily want to dissolve them either.
We're under fire. All clear, sir. Engaging enemy. Mission successful.
Okay, attacking. Not get any successful kills there due to the low reconnaissance, I suspect. Anyway, we want to piss these guys off. Granted, I've been running mostly Mind and Heart this game, so we don't have any of the cards to piss them off. We have the opposite. We have guards to make them like us better. Kind of not what we need right now. Yeah. Then we got these guys marching westward. Give us some more. Allow us to circle a little bit more before the war with them goes hot. Let's look at our construction state. So we finished a truck station that we delegated. We got another truck station that is moving terribly slow, but we'll presumably want to delegate it when it's done. And then from tech, we got metal, methane, and cyberization done. We haven't found synthetic fuel. I don't necessarily know which of the two is better when it comes to methane versus deep core mining for us. I'm working on resonance scanner, which makes sense. We probably want to work down to automation. Eco-wise, we don't have any good eco ones pickable. Though for discovery, there's definitely some good ones. We'd like to discover heavy, or not heavy, we'd discover high-tech. High-tech industry would be nice. Nuclear plant would be nice. High-speed rail would be nice. And then just the automation techs, which we need 2 more from in here, so the resonance scanner probably on our computation will be the 2. Okay. Then construction-wise, industry. We've obviously got the 3 different methods of making fuel. We could probably do with doing one of them. Allows us to bind CO2 in the atmosphere. Minimum of 250 parts per million must be present, with water to get fuel in return. Doesn't suggest that it's analyzed or whether it works better or worse. So there's an argument maybe to grab that over the methane, or over the deep core. They cost the same. I suppose I am, in fact, rich enough I could get both. And then we can see which one of them is better in our situation. Although this one, well, this one's just costing water. We got that much water coming in, so that's not a problem. Yeah, we'll do both. We'll be weird, we'll do both.
Affirmative.
It's probably a best one for our situation. I just don't know which one it is. That'll help with the fuel with the vehicles. I may just leave the vehicles stationary for the moment. What we're going to probably do in the long run is run them over to the new city here. And I'm going to extend the rail. I am going to go ahead and basically put a railhead right next to the railhead.
Aye, aye, sir.
I'm going to burn quite a bit of money boosting the support here. I think we're going to get a zone order call up next turn. If I don't call it up early, I'm going to go ahead and call it up a little early.
Aye, aye, sir.
There we go. So everything goes well. They should be reasonably happy, although they're going to get less happy because of the unrest first, but we'll see how that works. Okay, so the thing we're low on is, well, We have a negative income of oil if we move all the vehicles, so we want to get more oil coming in. We're probably getting enough rare earth metals that, as long as I'm careful, we're getting enough. And then we just need to figure out the logistical solution so we can take over the planet. And build more troops. Just more and more and more and more. Cover more frontage. You have these guys already? Yeah. Okay, we took some damage there, but we managed to kill 500 of them with the Xeno mercenaries. Yep, 500 infantry for 100. Around 182, we have 9 citizens awaiting us. No private armies. That balance is probably fine. You want us to know about more hexes? I probably should know about more hexes as well. Air Force Research Counselor. Doesn't need to be a particularly good person, but we probably want someone better than Cap 1. Cap 1 someone or we would in charge of the troops. Talent. And a civilian. I guess the new people we got are just as bad as the old ones. Okay, so this person would be decent. So I'm actually gonna try to get rid of one of these people. Scrap card. We're gonna sadly inform you that you are retired. And that you are retired. And while he's completely worthless in the job, but right now he's at least Cap 3 and will grow into it a lot faster than the Cap 1 person will.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ammo compactation is probably what we want. That'll be the 4th tech. I guess to start discovering things in automation. So yeah, let's do that. Although, from a discovery standpoint, we do still want to find charged Gauss and polymer armor.
Roger that. Aye, aye, sir.
Critical failure. Insult people. That's not good. Democracy. Do your best to mitigate the waste disposal. Doesn't go particularly well. So yeah, we're at 41.3% victory. Almost there. And it's so close, yet so far. It's kind of the state of affairs we're at.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Okay. So that march westward is going well. Starting to spread out across that border.
We're under fire. Requesting backup.
We found the source of the problem in the mountains. We weren't able to do anything about it, but we were able to find them.
Requesting backup.
Okay. And we got this front over here. Obviously you need to pull back into supply. And these guys need to pull back into supply. So again, we're pretty much beyond the action point limit. And this thing's probably not operating... Or, well, it may have only just started operating at speed. That would explain some of the problems. Yeah, we got places that are in logistical point range there. And they're about capping out there. Okay. So that probably wants to be a truck station as well.
Affirmative.
And then nothing that was under construction completed, although the big industry bits that we were building did proceed at speed. So no delays there. Oops. Trying to check to see how much these guys can move, and obviously you don't get to see that if they're you're on traffic control mode.
Under fire. Requesting backup. Move it now. All clear, sir.
Move those guys already? Okay. I think I've been around the whole nation. So territory-wise, we already called you up and did the slave trader. We're having opinion issues here. Local, high danger, okay. And the fear, because we sent the troops in. So that probably means we really want to go about bribing you to calm you down. There we go. And we probably want to sell some stuff, so we've actually got some budget. We'll sell a bunch of metal.
Roger that.
Okay, so that should help that zone. That should fix the worker problem pretty quickly. We do have a abundance of jobs, so we could probably send people there if we had no better place to send them. Same sort of thing here. We got a overabundance of private sector jobs. You're about right. You could do with some more workers, but you're happy enough. You should probably be able to recruit them. your logistical situation might actually improve. The railhead was being supplied a little bit better, and the truck station was supplied a little bit better. I suppose the question I might run into is, can I actually get colonists here? Yes. We would do all the colonists here. If we could send them. And we can, so they get sent. Yeah, so I'm gonna put all these guys up in the city. That in theory might free up the infantry unit, so I can send the infantry unit off to do picking jobs. Both to preserve fuel, because we don't necessarily want them running about with our lack of fuel. And to, well, have them be useful while being stationary. At this point, I'm pretty sure I don't need this road, so we're going to delete that road. That might help a little bit of the logistical situation. Redundant roads are usually not a good thing in this game. Same here. At this point, I don't need this road either. Clean up the road network. Oh, I should take that weird little bend out. Already got these ones blocked with road orders, but I should probably take them out anyway. Okay, and then we don't need that bit. Going around clearing up the road network a little bit before we end the turn here. I think everything else is good to go. Yeah, I don't need that bit. At least as long as the aliens are intact, we don't need that bit. I'm hauling these bits because we might at some point want to, you know, use those mines. Same with that mine. Actually, yeah, get rid of that one. These are all roads that served a purpose at some point, and had purposes in the past. They're not quite as useful these days. Okay. This rate, we'll have enough reserves that we'll raise another brigade next turn. And the metal's going down, but that's because we're building a bunch of stuff. In particular, the two petrol makers will consume a bit of metal while being built. Okay, second the turn. Let's see how that works out. Okay. Lots of motion. We killed 5 in infantry over that turn. It's around 183. We have 5 decisions on the next turn.
Copy that. Affirmative.
Our democracy is not bad. We want to say no here as much as I want to say yes because we're commerce. Alien natives are trying to talk to us. Send a random guy, send the logistics team, send all the logistics, linguistics, linguists we have on hand. Yes, send all the linguistics we have on hand. Seem to have learned a lot from us. Yes, that's good.
Copy that.
And I guess whatever problem I was having logistics has at least partially resolved itself. Oh, that's a chunky mountain range. Okay, toss everything into the fight here to make this a very one-sided affair, hopefully.
All clear, sir.
There we go. One-sided affair, we like those. Okay. Okay, we're probably gonna have a bad turn when it comes to fuel again. We'll buy turns worth of fuel, even though it's expensive. So we don't run out of fuel again. Now that we have the armored cars in the town, I can probably take the infantry out to help form a more stable picket. Oh, this is a Reptiloid territory. I should do some diplomacy with them and hopefully they ask for some peace. We'll get a nice stable border for at least a little while. Instead of taking territory off of them. I don't need to take territory off of them. I can diplomatically take it off of them, which is usually the better way to do it. Okay, that's that front, that's that front. The Western Front really needs roads to go leftward, but I want to also get enough people up in here that we can, for example, deal with this mountain range first.
We're under fire. Requesting backup.
Alright, here we keep buying more people.
Affirmative.
So you got enough public, you got enough public, you got enough public. No, this would be the next one. You have enough public. You are still short your public workers. By about 900. I only got 700 to give you, so we'll give you the full 700. Or I would if I had the logistics, so none for you today. You need more public workers. Can I give you more public workers? No, we don't have the logistics. You probably need more public workers. Do we have the logistics? No. So apparently the rail line was probably saturated this turn. But to look at the bottlenecks. Yes, we got no last mile bottlenecks, which is actually a good thing. Okay, we have a little bit down. Down here where we're running out of action points, but like the stuff that was preventing us from sending colonists is not a last mile bottleneck. Okay. Okay. So, that's a harder problem to fix. We're saturating. That's the rail line outbound. Did we have the rail in the capital? We have a rail head in the capital. So that means I probably did what I normally do, which is put the rail in the second city, and I did. So we need to expand that rail connection, or that rail asset. Because we're saturating a rail connection here. We'd like that to not be the case. We can afford that, although... Well, actually, it's not really very expensive from a machine standpoint. It is a lot of metal up front, right? We'll be running metal negative while we're building it, but I think we can work with that. And then replenish troop-wise, all the troops are ready to go out. Okay. Victor point-wise, we're at 41, we're at 0.5, so 8.5 to go. Although we're maybe not going to be so precipitously jumping over the next couple turns because we're not taking over any population centers. And then do a quick check to make sure the mines aren't empty. Okay, there's nothing we can do about the mines that are about to be empty. Like, that one's the one that's glitched. It should have basically emptied already. That one has 806 rare metal left in it, and it's accessibility 1, so we can't upgrade that. When it is empty, it is empty. Everything else looks stable for the moment. Okay. So let's cycle the turn and take a look at how stuff goes over the last end turn for this part. If you're watching on YouTube, there will probably be a part up tomorrow. We're going to try to record... Well, I think I'm going to try to record until we're done with this run. Depending upon whether that means we end early tonight or late tonight is going to depend upon how close we are to winning over the next couple of parts. 8.5% doesn't seem like a lot, but it can be a lot if it's just hex after hex we gotta get. Especially if the logistics are standing in the way of taking more hexes. We killed 300 infantry and have 4 decisions awaiting us when we come back. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. There's going to be a short break while I go sip a little bit of tea and stretch the legs. Until next time, wish you all the best luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.